All right, everyone. So I had so much fun with the Gears of War Reloaded beta, and one of the beautiful things about it is I've heard from a lot of you guys in comments about your thoughts. Now, there's been a lot of praise I've seen for the beta as I felt, but I also kind of realized that I'm more of like a optimist in a way of like I'm looking at this game, I'm having so much fun with it. It reminds me so much of back in the day that I feel like maybe I'm overlooking some of the faults, and I see in some of the comments I'm getting people pointing out like little things that they wish were different, that they wish was better, all of that type of stuff. So that's why I wanted to make this video because one of the consistent things that I've heard, and we did a video on it the other day, and this is one of the reasons we got so many comments on it, but I wanted to do this and bring people's, feelings about it to a video that everybody can kind of agree or disagree in the comments. But what fans, I guess, want to see one major fix, and is the matchmaking. Now, I 100% agree with this, and this is one of the reasons I did my video. I think it was 2 videos ago. It's because I really thought that one of the problems was on competitive matches, you were going into these matches, and if your side was winning, you'd have 2 people quit. If your side was losing, or the other team would have 2 people quit. If your side was losing, you'd have 2 people quit. And it made it not fun for everybody. It's not fun for the people on the team with the full team, and it's not fun for the people on the team where 2 people quit. So, how do you fix that? Now, I've heard, like I said, reading some of the comments, a lot of people thought more of a rank based matchmaking type thing, right? Something in Call of Duty that's very, I would say, controversial, right? But some people wanted some of that. Some people were talking about, various other things. But that was the main takeaway was they thought the matchmaking was not good. They thought teams were uneven and things like that. So I want to talk about it a little bit and give my overall thoughts. I don't have a fix for this. My pushback against rank based matchmaking is very simple, and I've heard people in the Call of Duty community talk about this. Is that the problem is that when you use only ranked to be your determiner, what you get is people playing kind of in their own world, right? So let's say there's a ranked mode in a game. Okay, I'm in bronze, I'm in silver, I'm in gold, I'm in diamond. Well, if you base ranked modes off that, the players, they're achieving something because what they're saying is, cool, I'm playing well in diamond, but everybody knows you're in diamond and everybody knows the competition you're going up against is top tier. Whereas if you do ranked just based off the rank of like your level and your kill death ratio, well, you're going to have all of the really good players going up against each other and all of the bad players going up against each other. So nobody's really ever improving all that much. In fact, the better you do, you're actually getting penalized because now you're playing against better players. And, like for me, for example, I'm not someone that has like a 2.0 KD, right? I don't even know if I have a 1 KD right now because Gears 1 was a lot different than, Gears 2. I'm not even sure I have a 1 KD. So if we go into this and it's all rank based matchmaking and I'm playing against people with, less than a 1 KD, I think I'm going to be having great matches and I'm going to be doing very well. But the problem is I'm going to be doing very well against people that are my skill level. I'm never going to be playing these really top tier guys who you want to be competing against, right? You want to try to get to that level, and the only way you can is by competing against them. So that's my one concern. I think ranked like in terms of balancing, I understand that, right? Maybe you balance out the teams as good as you can so that it's not like, 4 guys with a 4.0 against 4 guys with less than a 1% or 1.0. But I do think we just have to be careful of if it's only based off ranked and KD, you may get a situation where nobody's really playing the same game, right? Everybody's just kind of playing against their same people. The second side of that is another complaint I hear from people in the Call of Duty community about skill-based matchmaking is that connection gets worse. And for Gears of War, it is this to me is like imperative. Like this is not something that could just connection in Gears of War because there's so much like wall bouncing, running and gunning, this kind of stuff. It needs to be top tier. And if you're playing based off KD only, and I'm not saying people are even saying that, I'm just bringing up maybe some of the like stuff that they can't do so that we could get something that's even better. If you have it based off KD and not based off ping, then you're going to be finding matches against people who are, farther around the world, and it might make the whole lobby's connection worse. Whereas now you're trying to find people that are like, more in your area so that your connection is better, right? You want the ping to be good, right? You want your connection to be good, especially in Gears of War. So those are just the two things that I think we have to be careful of, is we don't want either of those to become the case, right? We want people to be able to have good matches and fair matches against good players. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like back in the day, this used to be the case all the time. Gears 2, I have a game, I'd go 13-4, like just an amazing game. Then I have a game where I go 4 and I'm obviously, 13-4. I'm kind of like, I don't know if it was exactly that, but then I have a game where I go 0-8 because I was playing a team that wasn't so good and then I played some great team. And that's fine, right? That happens. So that's not the end of the world. But what is the end of the world is when you have people quitting out and you're playing 4-on-2 every King of the Hill game or 4-on-2 every execution game. That stuff has to end. So what do they do to fix this? I don't necessarily know, to be honest with you. I understand where the fans kind of are getting off of, in the sense of like, look, you don't want to be on a team of people that all have, less than 1 KDs, and you're going up against a team of guys with 2.0s only, so maybe that's the fix. Maybe it is just a balancing thing. I just wanted to make this video to get this out there because I heard a lot about it in the comments, and it really did strike a nerve with me in the sense that they're right. Like, this is something we have to figure out now because it is game breaking. It is game breaking if you can't play the competitive aspects of it. You can only play the social stuff, right? That is a problem. So thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.